We are not likely to see any reinstatement of the dinar until Iran is broken. I mean the government leadership toppled and the terrorist networks abolished. I am told by my CBI contact this must take place to move ahead in Iraq and free Iraq. As long as Iran exists in its present state, the US is not going to release, or free, its dinar to the world. Comment: really will be glad to see an end to this movie. Marks: I think they are about to run the credits. Question: do you think the Vietnamese dong could go before the Iraqi dinar? At this point, no. You like a pregnant mother that's 9.5 months pregnant. I believe that's where we're at with the Iraqi dinar. The Vietnamese dong, I believe they're still kind of like just finding out the test results was positive. Vietnam has amazing potential, especially with Trump around now. Due to the collapse of the Taman. Iranian parliament dismisses the Minister of Finance. Quote, Iran's parliament on Sunday dismissed Finance Minister Abdinazar Hemati after launching a no-confidence vote. They did not have any currency auctions as of Monday, March 3rd. Now, what were the two critical things the central bank states to us through the year 24, which by the way, you're still in, end the use of the dollar and end the currency auctions. Last Thursday/Friday they said the citizens' debit cards would no longer be able to access US dollar cash outside the country of Iraq. That's one way of exiting the dollar. They also said the currency auctions would end. When does their fiscal period end? The very end of March. When does the new budget period start? April 1st. Boom, there you go. Rate is changing in March, folks. Iraq's Ministry of Oil has announced finalized oil export volumes for January, but has again not disclosed the value of oil exports for the month. Iraq has now published their oil production totals, but once again, the values have been omitted. Is this to hide the use of a new dinar valuation? Is this to prevent budget totals from being revealed? This veil of secrecy leads many to wild speculations, but only time will tell the reason for such obfuscation. Question: what's your take on no auctions in Iraq since last Wednesday? Marks: my take is we are crossing the finish line. Just like Al-Alaq said, no sanctions and transparency is what they needed in their white paper's monetary reforms to increase the purchasing power of the Iraqi dinar for all Iraqis. And return the rate to its former Sudani is now passing out permits for mineral rights in Iraq. Pay attention, Iraq's wealth is immeasurable, you cannot measure it. It's like if someone says to you, count the stars. You cannot count the stars. You've got oil, gas, dates, produce, gold, silver, titanium, platinum. Precious metals is just one topic. 0.1310 has nothing to do with it. The IMF expects Iraq's non-oil economy to continue to grow by 3.5% in 2025. This is important. They rely too much on oil sales to fund their budget, and since they rely so much on the oil sales, this is one of the things contributing to the fact that the Iraqi dinar is so devalued. Because all it takes is one situation to happen in the oil market and it could tank the entire country, like we saw in 2019 and 2020. The more non-oil revenue they could generate, the better. Sources say Trump signed off on the RV a few days ago. These sources do not know one another, but all had the same info. Finance Minister at IMF meeting: we expect non-oil revenues to increase. Gold prices will gain another 8% in 2025 to hit $3,100/oz. Goldman Sachs research, as this article states, that demand from central banks pushes the gold price up. Note that the country of Iraq has purchased 20 tons of gold this year herself. Why? Central banks have a very good pulse on things. It is their job to know how to diversify when need be. I'm going to tattoo 4,782 on my arm. That's the Gazette number we think is hiding the new exchange rate. Masha Saleh, geopolitical controls push for the shift to official channels for currency trading. He is an economic advisor to Sudani, and he is talking about how successful they are with economic reforms. Being able to track everything now has made a huge difference. They are still talking about raising the value of the dinar and giving purchasing power to every Iraqi. Keep in mind that notes that we hold, such as 25,000 notes, will always be their printed value. The exchange rate to US dollars should gradually increase based on Iraq's economic growth, economic renaissance and success over time, and the development of their banking system. Member of the Iraqi Council of Representatives Yahya al-Muhammadi expected, on Wednesday, the resumption of oil exports from the Kurdistan region via Ceyhan, Turkey, after it had been suspended for many months. Al-Muhammadi said in a statement to Al-Maluma agency that amending Article 12 constitutes a roadmap for resuming oil exports, noting that oil exports will be via Ceyhan, Turkey, through the Somo company. He added that Article 12 of the budget law, which was previously amended, includes compensating the Kurdistan regional government for the costs of production and transportation for extracting oil, which the central government set at $16. He pointed out that the Kurdistan region is on the threshold of exporting oil and handing over oil revenues to the central government according to the mechanisms specified in the budget law and its amendment. MP Mukhtar al-Musawi confirmed today, Wednesday, that al-Kazemi and his close associates stole Iraq's money and must be brought to justice. Al-Musawi said in a statement to Al-Maluma agency, former Prime Minister Mustafa al-Kazemi is trying to remarket himself politically to obtain a position or run in the upcoming elections, noting that whoever meets him from the political class does so out of personal motives and interests and not out of national motives. He explained that al-Kazemi's government did not provide any real achievement for Iraq, but rather witnessed major financial corruption operations, stressing the need to hold him accountable and investigate him regarding the budget that disappeared during his rule. He added that al-Kazemi and those close to him, such as Riyad Juhi and his brothers and Noor Zuhair, formed a corruption system that drained state funds, calling on the competent authorities to take the necessary legal measures to hold them accountable. The World Gold Council announced on Wednesday that Iraq has increased its reserves of the precious metal by 10 tons. According to the latest schedule published by the Council in March, which Shafak news agency reviewed, Iraq increased its gold holdings by 10 tons to reach 162.7 tons after it was 152.7 tons during the past month, which represents 13.6% of its other remaining reserves. He added, Iraq reached the 28th rank on the list out of 100 countries included in the table, indicating that Iraq came fourth in the Arab world after Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, and Algeria. The Council pointed out that the United States of America tops the list of countries with the largest gold holdings in the world, with 8,133,000 tons, followed by Germany with 3,351,000 tons, then Italy with 2,451,000 tons, while Iceland came in last with 2 tons. Increasing gold reserves means increasing the amount of gold held by the state or the central bank as a financial reserve, in order to enhance financial security and the ability to confront economic or financial crises.